Good morning, everybody. Ouch. Big ouch out there. Let's take a look. Inflation. Man, let's hope this isn't going to be a replay of the 70s. Wow. Anyway, let's look at what's going on here. Charts. So we usually don't start with the bond market, but we've been talking about what drives this market: interest rates, inflation fears, the Fed, of course, what we've been talking about for a long time. And today's news means the market is pretty confident it's not going to get a new injection of crack, intravenously liquidity. Um, so as the 10-year bonds are collapsing below this pivot, and I will reinforce, as I do almost on a daily basis, to look to the left. Because whether you're trading stocks, futures, bonds, Forex, it comes down to looking to the left. Look at where it's stabilizing, right, right on the next pivot. It's just this is what this tells me, right? I don't know for a fact, but what it tells me is that institutions, smart traders, which infers those using indicators are not so smart, or they just haven't gotten to a point of realizing how things work. You can't hear me well, Dan? Am I not coming through well? I see the little green mic popping. Maybe turn up your volume. Okay, thank you guys. All right. So look, I'm just pointing out here. We'll get to everything else, but look at where the bonds are stabilized. And odds are, I mean, they'll probably go lower. Um, you know, but you got to start with what's there, what is. And there's a void down below here. And with such a momentum move like that, it's going to take time to stabilize, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen, right? But this is, and I'll point out again, we talked about this head and shoulders bottom, a few weeks ago, and I was like, hey, well, let's go up here and the market will rally to new highs. Question mark, I don't know. And it consolidates, and then again we talked about the break. I think I mentioned this yesterday, the breakout bar failure and the little shock here. So any pattern can be negated, based on news or whatever drives it. But now this news is out, and this warning pattern is followed through and violated support. Black and white, bearish, and odds are it's going to go lower. Okay, so let's look at interest rates, and we'll get there, because it just has to be the opposite, right? And here was the head and shoulders top. It breaks down. It looks like it's going to continue lower, which would be good. And up here. And those of you that subscribe to the advisory letter, go back a few weeks ago, and we reviewed yields moving above 4.5 and going up to 4.8, and how the markets reacted over the last many, many, many years. And we reviewed, okay, what's going to happen here, and where's the danger zone? And, we talk about patterns and reinforce all of this in every, you know, weekend letter, which is more extensive, right? During the week, Dan manages all the trades and updates and Telegram and videos. It's all awesome. Anyway, enough of the self-promotion, but here we've got a negation of a head and shoulders top, and they react violently when that happens. I learned this decades ago. I think it was Dell Computer before it was public, then it went private, now it's public again. But anyway, you learn these things over years. And it's like, it was this head and shoulders top on the weekly time frame that Barron's was talking about, right? Barron's, of all places, talking about technical patterns, and everybody. And the pattern gets negated. Maybe they I don't know what happened. This was back, I think, in the early 90s or mid 90s, and maybe they came up with a new technology. Who knows? Anyway, the pattern negated, and I was like, wow, failed patterns, head and shoulders top, fails. Dell went up like amazing. It was like NVIDIA of the mid 90s, the way it went up. And I was like, head and shoulders patterns can fail. And when they do, it's significant. And this is significant. So the pattern, as we say, any pattern is a picture of thoughts, beliefs, expectations created with money. And when those beliefs don't work out, you get violent reactions. And that's the power of failed patterns and why we use them. So this going lower, equity, we should be at a point where this long time of going nowhere is over. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be going to the downside. But look, we have these thoughts in the moment, and then we see what's going to happen. This is still consolidating. We talked about the M top. Now let's see if it breaks the neckline. Maybe more clearly seen on the Dow here. And so this will be gapping down. We'll see if it breaks below this low. So let me just show you something here that we review in the weekend letter. Is that it? No, this. So in the weekend letter, the advisory letter, we go over patterns. And so I mark them up like this and voids and explain the patterns. It's like an educational part of the letter. And this is why I tell students, you should mark them up like that, reinforce the concepts and see what happens. So here's this momentum move. Here's the neckline, the bottom, the bottoming tail bar, buyers there, and the M top beginning to form. And now this is, I believe, is going to gap down just based on the price action below here. And there's a void below. So with the idea of, now reaching a point where things are going to start moving versus this chop, it enters this void. It's got a long ways, relatively long ways to go down, from a big picture point of view, really, just let's call it a normal correction. This is where, I go through all of the sectors and multiple time frames for the ETF letter. So let's continue here. All right. NASDAQ futures still within a trading range, but let's see where this ends. It's negating this bullish bar. It continues to be a mess. I guess we'll wait for tomorrow's data. And if there's confirmation of that, probably the proverbial crap hits the fan. And what is that? I think the PPI is tomorrow. And by the way, Powell's going to talk at 10 o'clock. Keep that in mind. Yeah, PPI is tomorrow. Suppose, and they say that that's the Fed's favorite piece of information. So if that confirms today's data, more information validating the prior. All right, S&P futures down at the bottom of the bullish bar. So far stalled at the pivots. Russell, which we were hoping it could break out above the highs. That ain't going to happen anytime soon. Collapsed as well. Interest rates up. This typically goes down. Interest rates up. Typically, technology goes down. It certainly doesn't hold up very well. Semiconductors getting shellacked, gapping down. And one of the things to look for, while things are moving quite rapidly here, is what's gapping up today. I'm not going to get into that now, but take a look. What's gapping up today? What's showing relative strength? That could be what to focus on. And then, during the day, sort your minder by change on the day. See what's green. Okay. Gold. I haven't even looked at SPX yet because of the move being so violent. I wanted to give it a little time to see if things settle down. But a little topping pattern there in gold futures, coming back up off of this little spike down, support right there. We'll see if it stabilizes or whatever's going to happen there. Crude oil, just consolidating, nothing doing there. Silver, interesting. That it's showing little relative strength to gold. It's just been so erratic, but this may be the next buy setup beginning to form here in silver. So bottoming tail bar, right there, maybe another one. It's erratic, but it's up near this resistance after a strong move, and so far it's holding. So I'd like it to be a little tighter, but this certainly could be a good buy setup. Let's see where this ends the day. Okay. Just curious. Well, we looked at that's gapping down. Um, I want to see what IWM is, the ETF. Get right down at that pivot there. So usually when things gap down that big and onto support, they have a tendency to chop around or try and retrace. Meaning I would think they're probably not going to go down too much, especially with Powell talking at 10 o'clock. Everybody will be waiting to see what he's going to say about this. Um, yeah, gapping down regional banks, so financials, which have been doing better, not doing well at all. Um, so as spiders gapping down to the 50 MA, you see the 50 and the 20 are there. So overall, just still a mess, And I look at this mess and think, is it possible this thing could close green on the day and rally back up here? Well, not without some backing and filling here. And now, 10 o'clock, Powell says something that makes people, maybe we got a chance. It's not so bad. And it rallies and turns green. Right now, I think most people are just going out of their freaking minds with all of the news. Yeah. All right. So on the 50 MA, give or take, almost directly on top of the 50, below 600, go to SPX. Nothing even came close to being touched yesterday. But the downside was the no-brainer below 6,000, which I said has been the battleground with that large open interest in puts and calls. And so it's opening up. It'll open up where it is right now at 6,000, give or take whatever wiggles are going to happen. And oh, yeah, if it goes down, it's already down a lot, but if it was to go down, some violent spike to the downside in a moments, and you can get below 5,900, it'll be a no-brainer. And believe, take that with the disclaimer of money management and anything can happen, blah, blah, blah. So 5,905. I mean, I think it's close enough for government work. Let's just see where that puts the price, puts that strike in alignment with everything else. So it's below that pivot. That's good. It's way below 6,000. And it's right here now at the 50. It ain't going down there today. Not unless Powell says, oh, maybe we have to raise interest rates. Then you know what? I think you got to get the hell out of the way. Who knows? But there's an unfilled gap down here. All right. So that, and let's see here. 60, 70. Surprising it didn't come down more than that. But okay. So like I said, it would be crazy for this to turn green, but you know, buyers are, not giving it up. And even was it yesterday I mentioned? I think yesterday was like, in this crazy market, these sentiment gauges are still up. they're still up at a bearish level. And so, the bullish sentiment is still, I think, way too high for a market that's going nowhere. Also mentioned, all of these earnings reports that have come out, be above expectations. And I think my comment was that it's kind of running in place, like stuck in the mud, using up the fuel. And so breath is still above zero. And so today, I think it's, I will look at this at the end of the day, but once it goes below here, odds are it's going to come down here, which would mean lower prices. We're going to cover trends again, Robert. We're going to kind of explain it in a much, when we did trends not too long ago, people loved it, but it was a little bit overwhelming for an MT Live, some of the details. So we're going to explain it with, I think, a little more clarity today, which I think will be really great for those that aren't really already students or not in the green room that hear us speaking about these things, on a daily basis. So you'll enjoy it for sure. Anytime we can reinforce concepts, um, it's worth being there. I'll drop a link. Uh, so Bitcoin last I looked, doing nothing here, but it looks like it, yesterday certainly looks like it's going to roll over. So, all right, Dan, all yours.
Good morning. Yeah, so this gap's gonna mess up our game plan. Um, but we'll do what we testing. All right, there we go. Yeah, a bunch of we've been conservative, lightening our load. Started taking a couple of shorts, and I did have a number of alarms go off here on our longs. We only have 3 open trades in the weekly options trader. We put on a BBY put spread yesterday, and that's gapping down here. Let's have to give it some room. Let's see what's the strike on that. Yeah, 86, 82.5. So, with all bullish positions, you get a big old gap. You just got to wait here a little bit for things to settle down. We have put on Fizzler, solar stocks were weak. We both were short the stock and did a call spread, so that looks good. And we did a Costco call spread. It's gapping down here, which is good. Today's Wednesday. No screen. I see it. So make sure you're switched over, Don. I see it on my second login. So it's there. Says it's gapping down. Call spread, it's the 1080s. We still have $22 a cushion. That's it there. I could go through these alarms on others, but I think we just got to wait. NOW, we posted as a call spread and also a directional short idea. I'll put it there. Intel, we were watching yesterday. Pulled in here. We were waiting for today, but that was right. It's 50% retracement, which is not ideal. But now it's up again. So as Greg said, anything that's green is relative strength today. So
Yeah,
that
and I'm actually looking at my gap up list, and so far all the ones at the top, they got crushed, was sold at the open. I'm still looking.
yeah, Verizon here was up, and that one just turned red. So on the Dow 30, UNH is the only green one right here, but no pattern. Mr. The Bitcoin related alarm went off. We shorted half lot yesterday. You can add today TD. I had there's no volume here, but we're in trail mode. That's amazing relative strength. GBTC, we shorted a half lot, another Bitcoin thing. XMTR, alarm, but our stops under here. Sophie alarm that has not triggered yet, but it looks like it wants to at the open. So we'll wait 5 minutes on that. Let me type that out. The subscribers on new trades. Still, we're in with a break-even stop. My alarm went off down here, but now it's back up. Outs. So let's go to alarms. My up alarm went off. That was a bullish pattern. Now that is a great example. And actually we did it, I think last week when we talked about, hey, what's the difference between an M top and a continuation pattern? And that's exactly what that is. It started off with an M top, and then yesterday's bar it turned that into a bear sandwich of saying that looks higher. Well, let me go up here now. That's enough alarms going off. Oh, CNO, one more. CNO alarm. Bullish consolidation. Hey, look, my up alarm went off. If this opens up here, then that's relative strength. Let me put that in a window. CNO earnings last night. SMCI holding very well. There's no pattern here. $43. Haven't run so much. Lift. We shorted as an earnings trade on this breakout, the $12 puts. It's an ugly gap. So 30-minute low on that. Let's see what it does. I always like looking at the obvious cousins. Cat, Deer, Coke, Pepsi, Lyft, Uber. So 75, that's getting whacked also. Not only with Uber, but I mean, not only with Lyft, but because of the broader market. Echo Tango breakdown, 19 and a quarter. False spread idea. AAL. Yeah, that was a bear flag we were talking about yesterday. It looks like it should go to low 15s. Yeah, absolutely. I did. Factor. Yeah, because I went through this list earlier. And I deleted a bunch just to save time. Upstart, amazing bullish gap. That's an igniting gap. Bullish monthly. Let's see what it does. On a pullback. I'm gonna put them other. All right, fresh. If it was gapping a 19, I would like it a lot more than now. Actually, it's still bullish. Let's watch this. It's gapping over the top of here. Nice uptrend. Dash, bullish gap, no pattern, guild. Beautiful buy setup. Gap's too big, but wow, look at a monthly run. That thing's been on fire. But there's no pattern. Well, it's not one I want to short. It's not one I want to buy. Oh, here I typed out, forgot to post this to you. Um, I go through here. These are not all earnings, but I went through and found a couple ideas there based on the patterns. So you can see the fresh But well, you know what? I did this before the gap down. So I'm not going to even send it to Telegram because I know like that BBY, no, it has a bearish gap down now. So forget about it. PBI 9, uh, that's a bullish gap. Let's see if that can take out a 30-minute high. Zulu and Zulu Golf, call spread idea, Echo Whiskey. That's holding up pretty well. Let's put spread idea. Sierra Tango gapping down, call spread. Excel opening flat. It was down, now it's trying to fill the gap, but kind of a bear flaggish thing here. Call spread idea. You got a bear 1, 2, 3, 4 on the weekly. So 30-minute low, I like. KRG, I don't see any prints, but it's kind of a sloppy W bottom. We'll come back. AMX down a few pennies. So I set an alarm at 1470 to see if it can recover from the gap down. Alpha Golf 74, call spread if there's any juice. Oh, I already said that along with Z's. Bravo November, call spread, breakdown. MIR gapping up 17. You know, it's what we call a failed sell setup with a void. Oh, we'll come back. IAC 4282, 30-minute high, put spread. Have you noticed though? I haven't given you one idea. That's tier one that I'm going to be doing at the market open. WPC, I can't tell where it's opening. I have an alarm at 5620, but if it opens flat over Friday's high, call a put spread. ADC, oh mess. Wow, that's getting its head chopped off. Look at the percent gap on that. SMWB, similar web limited. Never heard of that. Gapping down, call spread, and a downtrend. HIW, diode. I don't like the pattern. TDC getting whacked. 23. Wow, that's a real company. TDC. Let's see if that has some buyers at the open. Wow, put that in a window. Bravo Lima getting whacked. That's a nasty gap though, but let's see what it does. PHF, no pattern. I'll just continue here. I had a deck alarm go off. Nasty gap. Look at that. $9 down to 5. Car, no pattern. Olsen, big old nasty gap. See, when I see gaps like this in the middle of no man's land, yeah, there's a 200 there. I love when they sell off another $5 or so. Um, and you know, let the intraday pain get worse. Here, BBY, let's give 30-minute low. ECG, no pattern. CMA, wow, that's relative strength. That's a gap and go. CVS, gap's too big, but very bullish gap. Market ain't bouncing here at the open. All right, so this VRT, gap's too big. WAB, gap's too big. KHC, it's a bearish gap and a downtrend. Millennial, bearish gap. Bearish gap. Boeing, nothing to do. Bib. I said yesterday, I said if this opens flat, short the low. That looks horrible. Horrible. November, India. Oh, I bought calls on this myself yesterday, a lottery ticket for 20 cents. And it was up pre-market. Let's see. It must not be open because it's showing 15 by 20. There's no way it didn't drop more than that. But maybe I get lucky. I'm going to send an order out at 15. Just to lose a nickel, but yeah, I'm not filled, so he's not open yet. EXC, no pattern. WPC. Wow, hey, that's the one I said if it opened flat, but instead it's a bear gap that bullies. But I'm not aggressive right now. LAD, bullish, buy on a pullback. Lithium Motors, I forget what country that is, but that's a bullish gap. Intel coming in hard. Curl. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that the other day. Good job. CST. Yeah, we shorted that yesterday. GNRC. Alex, this is our generator company. SLVM, nasty gap, call spread. KMT, nothing. Elks was bullish. Now it's coming in. We'll come back to you. Site, nothing. Rider, nothing. Nothing. All right, that's it. Those are earnings now. Fizzler, Alarm. Yeah, Intel came in real hard. All right, Lift. Let's see where those puts are. We did the 12s. We're actually profitable on Lift. Let's I think we need to close this thing. So this is a fantastic example. So you all look, this is the rationale behind. This is the rationale behind selling options into earnings. Nasty gap against us. This little pop right here, it's 17 cents. We can get out. I mean, I thought that was going to turn into a big old problem. We got lucky on the bounce. I mean, it could have kept selling off, and then I would have gone to the 30-minute low strategy. So problem avoided. Yeah, CME I said was ripping there. Yeah, CME was a gap and go, relative strength. Well, buyers are stepping up here. Remember this lube I mentioned yesterday? That's holding relative strength. All right, see an O, relative strength, but it did not gap up. Check. My low alarm went off. Look at that poor thing. We're gonna get a we're gonna get a trade in this one day. Don't know when, but we will. Greg, your Charlie Mike from yesterday. Let's set a new alarm 61. Yeah, AD line. Yeah, that's a big, big number. But Q's spiders stabilized here. Yeah, it's a range bound mess. Let's see what the zero DTEs are. Q. How far away can we get? 5/17 or 29 cents. That ain't bad. 5/19 53. That ain't bad. Greg, you like any of these or diamonds the weakest?
I
AQT.
couldn't see your chart, Stan. Zoom minimizes it when I'm changing
Well,
stuff.
well, just look at your own. Don't you like Qs or spiders, zero DTEs at all?
Depends how far away.
Yeah, Qs, I said 5/19. That's 52 cents, which is pretty darn big. Or do 5/18s or 37.
518 is good. I like that. I like it. It's below the wide range bar on February 4th
Right, right.
and below, 520. And let's look at the put side. I mean, go ahead. I'm just saying thinking to myself, what is the open interest down there? What's the largest open interest? Where is it? 500, of course, the whole number. 510. I think it's far enough away. 520 is the biggest volume, so you're below that. That's good.
And I did it naked myself. But actually, the midpoint just dropped. You're not going to get filled unless you get a small little pullback. Diamond's the weakest. Diamonds still M top. NOW. I'm sorry. Oh, I typed in Dow by mistake. That's a sell setup. I meant to type in now. So Greg, where I gave the call side, it's not going to get filled. You want to short days low now?
Uh,
Relatively.
Stop above yesterday's high. I mean, I hate
All right.
getting in at that point, but you know, I would a half size or a third is fine. I mean, who knows? It may fill the gap.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, it's $1,000 stock. Is it even worth? I mean, it's doing,
Sure.
you know, the underlying.
Yeah, it is. People, it's like I always say, it's a candy store. They don't have to take it, but for people who, you know, McGraws and etc., they don't care. Swing a big bat, Alex. And then even if they paper trade it, they can look at the pattern, pretend it's a $9 stock, just paper trade it, see how we do it. See, I said wait, 5 minute low. Let's cancel Sophie. Maybe H, yes. Um, Under 955 has not triggered. S block from yesterday hasn't triggered, but it's good if it does. ABBV. It's not bad. I'm just not in an aggressive mood, but it's not bad. I'll put it on the list. Dunking. I don't like yesterday's tail. I don't like the 15-minute chart. Uh, Earnings are tomorrow after the bell. I don't like it. All right, BBY here looks bad. The 80s or 86 alarm went off. Relative weakness. So Greg, kill it here, which was the original stop. Earlier, I said 30-minute low.
Well, I mean,
I know, I don't know. I'm in
yeah, I mean,
it.
what can I say? I mean, it's a bottoming pattern, and
Well, that's why it's a put spread. It's not, I don't like it as
yeah,
a directional. The question is, do we go into hope mode, 30-minute low, or it took out Friday's bar, relative weakness?
well, the problem is it's not even lifting up, and the futures are moving up.
Right,
They're
right,
moving up toward wherever they're going to get shellacked again.
right.
That's not a good thing. So, yeah.
Right. I'm in it too. Meta, Google, Tesla 15-minute charts rallied the video. All right, let's now just go into total hope mode here, 85, 87. I don't know if y'all got filled on that Q spread. I did mine naked, which I'm gonna take my money right now. Right amount. Very good. Charlie Mike here from yesterday, maybe 30-minute low.
Yeah. Well, once it takes out those lows, it's triggered. I don't know, about 30 minutes. It may take it out and keep going down.
60.92. I'll just set a new one.
For those looking at my chart, you can see where I'm moving the red bands or areas to, which is the bottom of those pivot lows. Spider me, I don't know about that one down there, but somewhere in there is where I would expect it to turn just by what's to the left. And so maybe they can get up a little bit more.
Hey, remember Mighty Mo from yesterday? Still looking good. Set an alarm 53.92. Let me go through opens here. That's a lot of alarms went off. Pre-market CMCL still hanging in there. CSTM we're short. Let's move it break even. No, Diamond's Keys still grinding again. Is this by the dip part 27? Crazy. Mr. We shorted yesterday. Oh, I never posted it. Sold. That's a good one. That's Hey, Alex, your GPC is a 1, 2, 3 for tomorrow.